as we're kicking it again, and I have an incredible incredible actor that's here this evening, and I got to see him on this performance, and I was so moved. His performance was so believable, and I want to introduce you to somebody who's very, very up and coming, and I'm just amazed. His name is Mr. Thomas Bell. Before I actually get him to say something, this character was Souls to Take. It was an actor from, it was a festival of plays by Town Street, and they have this thing going on yearly, I guess annually, and I'll get him to say a little bit about that. But ladies and gentlemen, this is Mr. Thomas Bell.
Hi, how you doing?
Man, I saw you in this role, and I had never gone to a festival of plays like that, so I was so moved by that. But your performance as a drug addict was so moving, and it was just something, it was just breathtaking. Tell us a little bit about, before you even talk about the character, tell us a little bit about you. Where are you from?
Okay, I'm from the Cinnaminson, New Jersey. South Jersey, as people from Jersey like to say, exit 4 on the turnpike.
Yeah.
Down by the Philly side of New Jersey.
Yeah.
You have a north side is New York, south side is Philly side, we call it. And I grew up there most of my life. Went to University of Maryland, went to college there.
Ah, so you studied it?
Yeah, I studied at University of Maryland, and then came out to San Diego. Came out to San Diego and hopped on the show as just background, went to stand-in, photo double and such, and that's how I kind of got into the business.
Oh,
I was in law school at San Diego, actually.
You were in law school?
Right, Weston.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. Wow. So now this character that you played, and his name was Junior.
Junior.
And he was a drug. Are you a junior?
I am a junior. I'm a Thomas Bell Jr., so the name rang true.
Ah, I love it. Now, just for the record, we are not related that we know of. I don't think I have any family.
Yeah. Oh, your last name is Bell as well.
Yes,
hey,
yes.
Yeah, PhiL Bell.
So of course, when I'm reading the program, his name is Thomas. Yeah. I love it. I did. So tell us a little bit about the character. Did you have to do a lot of study? Had you ever met any drug addicts? What was it preparing for that role?
Come from a place where, Philadelphia,
yes,
there's a fair range of drug addicts to pick out from that area.
Okay.
I mean, from in the city of that area. Family members I've had, situations with, and that I drew from, and also people surrounding me, and what got to me most about the story was the connection between the two brothers.
That's right.
And how one brother's relationship with the family is different than the other brother. And I thought that was the part that I connected to most about it. And this one brother had a problem that the other brother didn't have, and just trying to bridge that gap for both of us and be true about that.
Wow.
So it was more or less a story about brothers for me, and I just happened to be in a very sick one.
Oh my goodness! Well, you were so convincing. You got to watch out for him. Oh man! Now tell us, when you moved out here? I mean, because actors come all the time. Did you just get an agent, or
when I first came out here, I was down in San Diego, and I was walking the beach, and I think it was Renegades. Renegades was an old show, and somebody just came up to my girlfriend and I. Would you guys like to be on the show? We need somebody to do this little bank scene.
Yeah.
I was carrying, at the time I had boa constrictors. They wanted the snakes and everything in the scene. So I'm like, all right, fine. So that was the first thing I had done.
Yeah.
And then after that, they called me in for some more things and asked me that I want to do stand-in, and then I did that for a while, and I just had a rapport good with the production company. So we went to Silk Stockings, and I was a reoccurring detective in that show.
Wow.
Non-speaking role, but I had to be there every week because the police station was the police station.
Right.
And then once that show wrapped, Pensacola's Wings of Gold.
Yeah.
It was also a Stu Siegel Productions production, and they called me in on that as a double for their main character, one of their main characters. And when it got time, I said, hey, you know what? I want to be a main character. They said, you have to go to LA.
Okay.
All right. Well, let's go to LA. So I mean, that month I packed up and came to LA. First got here, went to was it Backstage West had a conference of some sort, and that's where I met my agent.
Yeah.
She had me come in, audition for her. She picked me up across the board. Her name was Bonnie Howard.
Yeah.
Howard Talent West. She picked me up across the board, and we've been together ever since.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. That's awesome. So do you get out a lot? Do you go?
Yeah, I get out pretty much. Lynn's my commercial agent over there. I get out often for them, and theatrically I get out a fair amount. So, and I stay busy. You know, I just love working.
All right.
And that's the important part.
Wow. Now you've even mentioned that, and I think this is something great. You were writing or doing some work. You create works also for yourself.
I happen to be affiliated with some other people that were producing some small projects on their own.
Okay.
And I'm in college, you know, fairly good amount of writing involved in law school, and I always enjoyed reading short stories and such. And so I thought I'd try a hand at it with a partner of mine a couple of years ago, and we came out with pretty good shorts. So we wrote a couple of them, and we liked it, decided to come out with a feature. So we wrote a little feature, Black to the Future. And
Black to the Future.
Yeah,
oh, I love it. I love it.
We're having we're going through a couple of rewrites right now. Tony Robinson is on board with us.
Okay.
He's a heck of a writer. He's script supervising, and he's helping us get the script in line and touch it up a little bit. And, we're looking forward to getting the piece out there. So we'll see. Now,
what about your family? Is there anybody in your family that's in the business? Or how did you get the acting bug? Tell me that.
I remember growing up in Cinnamon, New Jersey, and I had this one cousin that was in Los Angeles. And back then, everybody from the East Coast was like, oh, you know, L.A., the West, go to West Coast. I had a cousin, she was in Jet Magazine, Debbie Bell.
Debbie Bell.
She'd come out, we had the Jet Magazine, and everybody in the neighborhood, like, she was like the town hero, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go out there, you know, she's a pretty woman, she's closely related in the family, and that inspired me to go, you know, we can do this, I can do this. And so when I got of age, I said, you know, I'm gonna look out and check California out. And I came out here, I hit her up and asked how she was doing. She's like, you might want to go home. It's tough out here, it's a tough market. So I said, hey, you know what, I'm gonna stick with it. So, you know, 18 years later, I'm still in town.
I love it. I love it. Now, what are can you tell us one of your hard experiences? Because people think when you get out here, you're going to be a big star and it's going to happen overnight. Was there like one incident that that sticks out that was like, this was a moment that I could have possibly turned back, but I decided, no, I'm hanging in here?
Oh, wow. We had a few of those. Ooh. Every audition, you think you killed, you go home. And you think it's, oh, I nailed it. You don't get that phone call and you're sitting there for 3 days looking at it like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Who else hit that like me?
Yeah.
Nobody could have done it. The phone doesn't ring. And so there's been a few times I've been like, you know what, if that wasn't it, then I don't know what it looks like. And I thought about it a few times. But this game, I believe, goes to not the fastest always, but the one that lasts.
That's right.
And you grow up with your peers, the people that acted with you when you were starting out will grow, and if you're good at what you do and you have some integrity about what you do and you're professional about what you do, they'll call you.
Yeah.
They'll say, hey man, I got this little thing, why don't you go ahead and play that. Most of my jobs, believe it or not, did not come from an audition or casting notice. It came from another person who saw me do well or who I've worked with, who enjoyed working with me.
Oh, that's amazing.
That's most of all my works come from other jobs, or people who just enjoyed working with me, and it's work. I'm blessed to be able to do what I love doing, but it's work. And if you treat it like work, and if you're a professional about it, people recognize that, and you'll stand out. Everybody wants to be a star, not everyone wants to work.
Now, you know there is like this little thing that people say, who you know, and so that's what you're sort of touching on that. So you're saying that one of the things is how you treat people.
Yes.
Because, you know, sometimes actors or performers have this reputation of being hard to work with. You know, who would want to be around that person? They show up late. They are into them. You know, just a whole lot of terrible stories that you hear about actors. So what you're saying is something that the way you, I guess, your camaraderie with other people and being respectful.
Yeah. This is definitely a business of relationships.
Wow.
It's definitely a business of relationships. And how well you communicate with people and how easy you are to work with on the set will carry you a long way, as long as you get there and you produce the product you came with, coming with an idea, coming with a character, coming with some truth and authentic, organic choices in your work, and people recognize that, and if they see that you're enjoying what you do, that's another huge one. If they see it, people love seeing somebody doing what they do and love doing it. And I found that the more the best experience has been when I've gotten in there and I couldn't remember anything. I was just so in it, you know, and I'm enjoying. And I mean, I get goosebumps, you know, just thinking about it. You know, when I get done that experience, people can't wait to work with you again. They can't wait to work with me again. They're like, oh man, you were. Oh, and I was like, I wasn't trying to do anything. I was just feeling everything come through me, the way I saw the character and the way that character breathed in me, you know. So you got to create a life in you that you're telling someone's story out there.
I love it.
And you're telling the story with your interpretation. It's filtered through you, but it's their story somehow. And that's how I like touching people. If somebody walks up to me and go, man, I was in tears. My cousin, he had a similar problem, and I remember that. I remember that, and man, and it's true. That's what you're telling. Keep it up, bro. Keep it up, bro.
That's right.
You know, that when people say that to me, it's worth the reason why I do it.
I love it.
It's the reason why I do it. It's like, if know that I've touched somebody and I've made a voice for someone who is underrepresented or not represented. I mean, I get to live my dream. My favorite commercial is when this one actress was walking down the street. She goes, you know, this morning I was queen of a town, and the next day I was on a ship. And the woman from Titanic, what was her name?
Ah, Titanic.
Oh
my God!
She done a wonderful commercial about that, and that's exactly how I feel. You know, what other businesses can I be? Can I be a villain one day, an assassin the next day, and, you know, the postman the following day, and selling Cheerios the day after?
Wow, I love it.
But you know, it's just I get to play so many things, and I get to have so many interpretations of how I see the world, depending on where I'm coming from in the character.
Let me ask you this: what would you tell a young actor, another young actor who was moving out, and maybe deciding that this is something he would want to do as well?
Find good mentors. If you could find someone that's doing what you want to do and watch him work. You know, being a star is all great, wanting the fame and everything, but watch a person who really works work.
Yeah.
And you'll understand that this thing is a business, and it can be unforgiving at times. And the people that you see that you think is really easy, they are working. They're hustling every day to bring you that magic. That magic doesn't just happen. They work at it. They commit to learning their craft and developing their characters and reading the scripts and understanding beats. Just get in there, find a good mentor, and connect as many people as you can. And here's a good one. Be able to tell them how they can help you. People will help you if you can tell them how. I spend my experience that if you can walk up and articulate, you know what? This is what I'm interested in, this is who I am, and you know, I could use a little direction there. Yeah. Fine, but they will jump in and help you. But asking a person to mentor you or to help you, and you don't understand how to articulate what kind of help you need, you're asking more than one thing. You're asking not only to help you, but figure out what kind of help I need.
I love it.
That might be a little unfair to the person that you're asking that of, because if they're successful at what they do, their time may not enough for all that.
I love it. I love it. Now tell us, what are you working on currently? I think you have something that's coming up with Town Street.
Yes. Tonight I'm actually going to be on stage over at the Stella Adler. We're doing Felton Perry's Reverend's Good Wife. Yes. It's a story about a reverend who came into a lot of money, and his wife has decided to try to leave town with it. Yeah. And I'm not going to give it all away, but hopefully I'll see you out there tonight.
Oh, wonderful.
I just finished filming 2 episodes of a web series called That Guy. Okay. That Guy, some pretty good comedians are in that. It's a Twin Titan production. Okay. And this weekend I will be appearing on South La Brea, and I forgot the name of the venue. Forgive me for that, but it's with Eastern Sky Theater. Okay. It's called The Last Appeal. I played the brother of a death row inmate, and he's making his last appeal on death row, and I'm helping him through that. And it turns out his last appeal ends up having to be, it's an inspirational piece. His last appeal truly has to go to God. Oh, I love it. I love it. Yes. Well, Thomas, man, this has been incredible. You are an inspiration to actually see this man on stage is unbelievable. I'm just so moved. I was just incredibly moved. I would like you to come back at another time, and I want you to talk about maybe even some of your role models, some of your favorite actors. We didn't get to go into that this time. Yes, anytime. And man, I just know that you're on a rise, and I just hope I'm one of the ones who said, look, I knew him when. Because you got your whole, I guess it's the foundation.
It's your foundation. It has to be. Your love for people, your love for your art, and just who you are as an individual. Okay. We're going to be bringing him back on another time, and all of his information, his website, his performances, and where you can find him is all going to be right here at the tag. So make sure that you check him out. You do not want to miss Mr. Thomas Bell. Up and coming, a man on the plan, on the action, just all that. All I want to say is, Mr. Thomas Bell, thanks for kicking it with me.
Yeah, Thomas Bell, and I'm kicking it with Phil.
We'll see you next time.